you use?
Spoilers.
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 Spoilers. Spoilers. Spoilers. I like that word.
I thought you might.
Recently, I listened to Trial of the Valeyard, and whilst I do need to give it another listen, it certainly presents some interesting insights into the creation of the Valeyard, and also the Doctor's future incarnations and their attempts to break the regeneration limit through the creation of their own black scrolls. Now, the majority of what happens in this story, including an encounter between the 6th Doctor and the final Doctor, is actually nothing more than an elaborate ruse concocted by the Valeyard in order to get revenge on the Doctor and the Inquisitor after the events of Trial of a Time Lord. However, at the end of the story, the 6th Doctor says that whilst he believes that most of what the Valeyard has said, including about his future incarnations trying to break the regeneration limit, is untrue, it may have some small grain of truth to it.
Oh, well, I'd take most of it with a hefty sack of salt, but still, no smoke without fire.
You think there may have been a grain of truth in it?
Perhaps. Well, that would have been all he'd needed to gull someone desperate enough.
So using the evidence we have, which may or may not be true, here is my theory on the origins of the Valeyard. According to the Master in the first part of Ultimate Foe, the Valeyard is an amalgamation of the Doctor's darker sides of his nature, created sometime between his 12th and his final incarnations.
There is some evil in all of us, Doctor, even you. The Valeyard is an amalgamation of the darker sides of your nature, somewhere between your 12th final incarnation.
Now, the Doctor's 12th incarnation is in fact the 10th Doctor, albeit the 10th Doctor after the Stolen Earth regeneration. And so his final incarnation may not just mean the final incarnation of his first cycle, i.e. the 11th Doctor, but his final incarnation overall. At the end of Series 4, the 10th Doctor has taken a noticeably darker turn, eventually leading to the very dark Time Lord Victorious scene at the end of Waters of Mars.
For a long time now, I thought I was just a survivor, but I'm not. I'm the winner. That's who I am. The Time Lord Victorious.
Whilst I think all of the death and loss he has suffered was certainly a driving force behind what happens next, this is where the Valeyard truly begins. Finally faced with his own mortality and knowing that his next incarnation is going to be his last, I think it's possible that during this period of travelling alone, the Doctor started looking into breaking the regeneration limit, possibly creating his black scrolls during this time. Whilst the Doctor's black scrolls that are mentioned in Trial of the Valeyard are believed to be non-existent, it's still perfectly possible to believe that the Doctor may have created some. However, as we know, in the end of time he does regenerate, and upon meeting Amy, I think his love for life is rekindled and he decides to abandon his work into breaking the regeneration limit. However, during this time, hints of the Valeyard may still be seen to reside in him, most notably with the dark subconscious Dream Lord, and the fact that at the end of Amy's choice, he is shown to still reside within him. Then something terrible happens. He loses Amy and Rory. This sends him into a downward spiral, which at this point he retires to Victorian London, during which time he cuts himself off from the world.
I've retired.
It's at this point that I think, after having locked himself away from the world in his TARDIS, he possibly continues his work into breaking the regeneration limit and working on his black scrolls. However, with the intervention of Clara and the impossible girl riddle, he finds something else to take his mind off him. He finds his love in life again, and he decides to abandon his work into breaking the regeneration limit and black scrolls, simply deciding to accept the end when it comes. With the saving of Gallifrey in Day of the Doctor and calling on all of his incarnations, including a future one, he is ensured that he will get a 14th incarnation in the form of the 12th Doctor, which is something else I have a theory about, but that's for another video. With the knowledge that his life will continue, he finally has no need to worry or continue his work into breaking the regeneration limit, although maybe he will revisit his black scrolls in future. In short, it is my theory that the main thrust of the darker sides of the Doctor's nature that led to the creation of the Valeyard most likely started around this time, and certainly led to his subconscious creation within the Doctor himself, even if his actual physical creation was still yet to come. And that brings to a close another fan theory. In the next fan theories videos, does Torchwood possess Time Lord technology? Find out more soon. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, favorite, subscribe, share, it really helped me out a lot, and be sure to check out the description below for a link to my Patreon. It would really help me out a lot if you supported that too. I salute you all, and I will see you with another video very soon.